Hey everyone, welcome to the PubGo Studios. I'm Dave Morris. For this edition of Rick and Nick's Weekly Update, it's a look ahead at some of the stories you can find this week in the Oklahoman. I'm joined by Rick Green and Nick Tragakis, the local editors off the news desk for the Oklahoman, talking about a variety of topics this week. And let's start with the legislature, because the income tax reduction and state budget could come as early as this week.
Yeah, they're getting down to the final go-around at the legislature. They have to adjourn a week from this Friday, 5 p.m., and so it's up to them now to come up with their budget. A big unsolved part of that is how much income tax reduction will be granted or recommended. And once they decide that, then they'll be able to kind of formulate the budget. They started out this session thinking they're going to have to, they would be able to provide a lot of tax reduction and eliminate a bunch of tax breaks. They haven't been able to do either, really. They haven't been able to get rid of a lot of the tax breaks, so the income tax reduction portion of it is not going to be as high as they had hoped.
We have Michael McNutt, Megan Rowland out at the Capitol following this story, and you think that may happen this week?
It could happen this week because, again, they've got 2 weeks and the clock is ticking.
One of the other stories we're working on in the Oklahoman this week involves something a lot of us can relate to. It's our pets. We're talking about dogs and fleas.
They say that with the amount of humidity that we've had here and the overall warm winter, that the flea problem this season is going to be especially bad.
This is not good news.
No, it's not.
Right, the other aspect of it has been a wet spring, and fleas love the wet conditions. So last year everybody kind of got a break. This year the fleas are all over the place. Veterinarians are saying a lot more people are coming in. Dogs covered with fleas, and so they have to get treated.
And I'm sure the Oklahoma will provide recommendations of what pet owners should do, precautions to take.
Right, treat the dog, treat the environment to some extent, but mainly treat the dog.
All right, Nick, tell me more about another story you have coming up this week involving Carrie Coppernall.
Yeah, Carrie is our education reporter, and she is working on a multi-part series right now called Real Expectations. And what it is, it's a look at the real life, everyday expectations inside the Oklahoma City School District. She started part one of the series inside John Marshall High School. We had that in the paper a couple weeks ago. And we have part two of our series coming up this Sunday in the newspaper. It's at Webster Middle School. It's a Southside middle school. The students there are generally from low-income households. A lot of them are Spanish-speaking. English is a second language for them. And Carrie, as she did with John Marshall, was in the school for an entire week.
I was going to ask you, what's the process there of the reporter in school?
Yeah, she is embedded in the school, and what we hope to do and what we hope to bring to the readers is just a real unfiltered look at what happens in Oklahoma City schools every day. And I think that Carrie she did a great job at John Marshall. Here at Webster, she got to see a lot of things firsthand that maybe the average reader doesn't understand. Hey, this is what's really happening inside our schools,
Well, and that's probably an eye-opening thing, because for us, no offense, it's been a while since we've been inside a public school,
Yeah, and we had a lot of good reader reaction to the John Marshall package. We're going to look for this Sunday to have part two, middle school, in the newspaper, and so hopefully all our readers can pick up the newspaper or go to News OK on Sunday.
Interesting stuff. All right, now something else that's going on that's the big talker this week, of course, is the Thunder and the marquee team in the league, the Lakers, in town, and the Thunder handled them pretty easily Monday night. But the Oklahoma will have continuing coverage of this series.
That's right. I don't think it would be expected that the Lakers would get handed a loss of that magnitude. So they're coming back at it on Wednesday here in Oklahoma City, then out to LA for games 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 on Friday, Saturday.
We were talking earlier today. This has a really, I'm going to go out and call it. I think there's a good chance the Thunder can sweep the Lakers.
I think you're right about that.
Straight out of the second round, because the Lakers are tired coming off their series with Denver, and there's no rest for the weary right now. They've got 4 games in 6 days. They got to go back to back, like you said. Once they do get home, I think we've got a good chance for a sweep here.
It's interesting, and something like this provides a look at some of the Oklahoman strengths, and I'm talking about photography in addition to just the reporters.
Yeah, there was a picture on our sports page today showing Harden dunking, and about 3 or 4 Lakers just kind of watching him, and that was really the story last night.
Absolutely, it was. The hustle of the Thunder really made the Lakers pay. All right, that'll do it for Rick and Nick's weekly update. Again, you can find all these stories upcoming in upcoming days in the Oklahoman, and look for Carrie Coppernall's story on public schools on Sunday. Guys, thanks for your time.
Thank you.